Where did it go? It's our Wildwood takeover. Thursday, the 4th of February. Paul Reed Smith in my hands today. Look at this sassy beast. It is a sassy guitar. Let me just quickly share this with music friends. It's important to share this with musical friends where the fun never hid. It's important to share this with musical friends. Just so you know, a little FYI. Hope everyone's doing well out there on this Thursday. It's snowing like a banshee here behind the cheddar curtain. I'm looking at snow falling down in gratuitous quantities. Although the good news is because it's snowing now, it will be done in time for Toby to make the drive down from Minnesota for our glorious live stream this weekend. FYI. Let me share this right post. I'm going over here to a magical place called Newsfeed. And I'm going to post. Wow, sparkles. Let me go over here and go to group. And I'm going to do the Gristle Kingdom. Gristle Kingdom in here. Maybe a little KMT as well for the kids. KMT, KMT. All right. How's everybody doing out there? You all right? How you doing out there? How you doing out there? Michael, what's going on out there? Lots of snow and blowing wind here in the Twin Cities. Doggone it. Well, I hope it's done in time for Toby to come on down. Minneapolis, I see you. The snow has stopped for the moment. Our snow is going like a doggone banshee. Today I've got a magical guitar in my midst. It is a Paul Reed Smith, and it is a new iteration. I'm going to give you the lowdown on this beast. It's the S2 Vela semi-hollow, so it's kind of a thin line situation. Let's see what they say. Let's get some lowdown on this rascal, and then I'll play some of it. The Vela semi-hollow combines a rough and ready, grip it and rip it attitude. Wow, who's writing this text? I like it. It's bold. Unplugged, its semi-hollow mahogany body produces a warm, punchy tone with articulation to spare. Add in some electricity, and the spectacular PRS pickups build a beautiful harmonic landscape on the foundation laid by the body's natural resonance. I like the copywriters at Wildwood, I think, are doing a pretty damn good job. The Starla in the bridge position, that's the pickup in the bridge position, is an utter delight. Ho, 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 to the heights. It produces warm, smooth low end along with broad, woody mid-range, impossibly lush chiming overtones in the trebles. Some bold talk. You can also split the coils, which tightens the low end and makes the mid-range quackier while maintaining the bell-like chime. Flip over to the Type D single coil in the neck position, and you'll find round, robust low end along with chocolatey mid-range and sunny, glassy highs. Wow, what's going on here? What? The fine folks at PRS have also outfitted these guitars with super cool bridges. Here the bridge has 2 brass saddles and an aluminum plate to increase intonation and sustain. It's a top loader, I might add. I added that part in. That wasn't, written. It's a lot like the bridges on Paul Reed Smith's early guitars, and it adds a ton of vintage vibe, or as I'd like to say, vintage vibe. Add in PRS tried and true pattern regular neck profile and modern 10-inch radius for optimum playability. You've got quite an axe. I want the person who wrote this to get a raise. Can we do that? Sorry, it's out of my jurisdiction. We're proud to showcase the PRS S2 Vela semi-hollow. Basically, it's 10 pounds of sweet semi-hollow tone. Actually, it's only 6.35 pounds. Found an error in the text. But I think he was speaking, hyperbolically. We invite you to take one for a spin and experience its myriad sonic delights. Wow. It is frost blue metallic, 6.35 pounds. I do like this guitar, but it comes with a gig bag as well. Someone just says it's the poop. I'm going to say poop because it's a family show. It's the poop. But it's very. It does not sound like other. I like Paul Reed Smith guitars. I don't own one at present. I have owned them in the past. This one is more up my alley because the tonality, it's got a little bit more spank. Sounds good. So I actually had that bridge pickup split. I got the bridge pickup split. So the neck is a single coil that's more like kind of, they're calling it a style D. It's very much like a D. Armand pickup from the old Gretsch guitars back in the day. The other one they're calling a Starla treble pickup, and the Starla can be, it's more of like a wide range humbucker that you can indeed split. It's a nice little tone right there. Nice. Let's go to that bridge pickup all by itself. This is the split version of the bridge pickup. Here's full humbucker. sounds good, am I right? I like it. It sounds good. Let's put the heat on here and put the OTS on, get that thicker. That's a good little tone right there. Backing off on the volume on that bridge rig. Play that all day. Feels good. It's real buttery action. Real buttery action. There's 10s on here. They all come with 10s these days. That's why I was using 11s for a while on my own guitars, but I'd play so many guitars for a while when they all have 10s. I'm like, you know what? I'm going back to 10s. And this one feels really buttery, 25-inch scale. That middle position, full humbucker with that neck single coil. See what that bridge or the neck pickup sounds like with some dirt. It's a good sounding guitar. And it plays like damn butter. Some people are saying it looks small on me. Again, I am 6'7", with an extra COVID 15 or 20. So when I get back on the road again, things will change. But for now, I'm going to feast, feast, feast. Can you dig it? I'm going to tell you I like this guitar. Paul Reed Smith. The link to this specific guitar is listed on the details from this video, but it is an S2 Vela semi-hollow body Paul Reed Smith guitar in frost blue metallic. Check that out. Frost blue metallic. There we go. It's a less glary version. We're still working. We're always working on the production quality here, ladies and gentlemen. Fortunately, the main camera, which looks so good now, it takes a lot of light in order to make that happen. And the other camera that I'm using right now for the close-ups, it does not like the light. So we're still having to figure out what the heck's going on. But in the meantime, you can see this rascal. Now here is that, what are they calling that? The Starla treble pickup. And this is the push-pull to split that pickup. Got brass bridge saddles here. It is a top-loading guitar, so the Actually, I take that back. No, it is top loader. I'm sorry. It goes right in those little sockets there. So that's pretty interesting. And of course, it's a kind of a thin line situation, semi-hollow, as they like to say. And it is made in Maryland, and they're quite equitably priced. This one's $15.49. I mean, in comparison to obviously a lot of other Paul Reed Smith, that is a very, very doable price in comparison to some of their more figured maple top having guitars of great savagery and pageantry. Am I right or am I right? I like that. Yeah, no Mr. Wiggles on this one, Patrick. No Mr. Wiggle. Can you dig that kind of activity? I like this neck pickup. It's like an old D-Armand. They call it a D-style pickup for reasons that I think are apparent. Oh, some T-Bone Walker. You like that, huh? Sometimes I wonder why don't she write to me? Sometimes I wonder why don't she write to me? If I've been a bad fella, I didn't intend to be. Well, rollin' boys, we gonna jump for joy. Rollin' boys, we gonna jump for joy. My baby just brought me a brand new choo-choo toy. She got ways like the devil, shaped like a frog. When I start loving her, whoo, hot dog. Love my baby better than I do myself. I don't know what to do if I'm loving someone else. I said yes, yes. I said yes, yes. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. T-Bone Walker on there, so I did. A little bit of T-Bone Walker, yeah. Jazz Time Spanker. Guilty as charged, Mark. Rock on yourself, Drade. Woo. I like this color, too. I've always been a sucker for this kind of ice blue metallic kind of a thing. Quite nice. Sorry, just almost burped up something. Sorry about that. Can you make it sound like a Strat? Well, this neck pickup kind of is Stratty-ish. Someone's asking about the balance. It feels really good. It feels very balanced. Really a light guitar. It's a little over 6 pounds. Feels good. I do like that. It's kind of like a telly bridge on here. Actually, it's a 2-barrel telly type bridge, brass bridge, and it's a top loader. And boy, it sounds good, and it looks good too. Hey Paris, what's going on out there? Happy Thursday to you, my good man. The vibrato you're hearing is on the amp. Someone asked about what amp I'm using. For all of these broadcasts, I've been using, going back to, well, all the Wildwood videos I do back when I'm in Colorado, I've been using my signature amp. But all of these live streams, going back to March, I've been using my signature Koch amplifier, which is right over here. And it does have harmonic vibrato on board, and all the overdrive you're hearing is on the amp. Sometimes I will hit a ancillary overdrive pedal if I'm using my looper, so that the looper doesn't get distorted when I turn on the lead side, you know what I mean? That just is a good sounding morsel, right? law. Can't remember it now. Oh my God, my brain just went. It happens every now and again. Blah, blah, blah. I had a nice voicing for that. Oh my God, it's gone. You heard it here, for ladies and gentlemen. Drade has lost his mind. Drade has lost his mind. He looked for that A chord and it was nowhere to be found. Yeah, 25-inch radius, right. Harmonic Vibrato, someone asked. Well, on the old brown face era amplifiers that Fender made, they had this way of doing vibrato. I don't know technically how it's done. At some point I knew technically. At least I could explain it now. Much like that last chord, it's gone. But it's basically, it's a more of a univibe-ish type sound. It's rounder on the edges and it sounds more like a univibe. And Fender stopped doing it because it cost too much money, because it utilized another tube than standard tremolo. So they switched out of that and put on a different tremolo in there. But I love that sound because I love univibes. I love kind of a rotating speaker scenario. And Dolph Koch, bless his heart, figured out a way to do it with only 2 tubes as far as the that particular circuit is. Usually it's 3 tubes in order to get that sound on a tube amp. Anyway. It's different from the Magnetone. The Magnetone is a beautiful sound, but it's in stereo. It does a different thing. This is not in stereo. It still sounds great though. Oh, thank you. Oh my God, that's gonna bug me now. Well, when the broadcast is over, I'll figure it out. Yeah. What song was I playing when I had the brain fart? Everyone. No. That was Killer Joe by Benny Golson, as a matter of fact. Killer Joe. You'll expect it on Instagram this evening, perhaps. What are some beginning chicken picking songs to get into? You know what? Dire Straits stuff is always a good one. You know, Southbound Again. That's a good little. Just to learn that is good. Of course. Correct. can you do? How am I doing? I'm doing all right. I got no complaints. Engage the OTS and the little heat. Oh, you're naughty. Here's a little heat. So if I do like a little rhythm thing on the, let's do like a, what do we got? Do like a. Can you dig it? Oh. Questions out there. I see the things rolling in. The coffee machine, it is working. My buddy Adam, too, from 10 Drops Coffee, sent me some brew. It is so good. I got to get a hold of him and find out what the hell his espresso bean. Ridiculous. Oh, my Lord. Is that the pattern for your beanie behind you? Love your beanies. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, as a matter of fact, a guy named Paul Stewart from Scotland got a hold of me on Twitter and said, hey, I've got this poster for you that I made. Would you mind if I send it to you? And he sent it, and that was it. We're like, holy, that is so cool. So we actually did some T-shirts, and we're actually looking at that and maybe being part of the equation for the new record, which is coming out soon. As soon as we get it mastered and get it ready to rock. Anyway, yeah, so that's it is the top of my beanie on that rascal, one of the variations. Tips for playing out. You can start anywhere as long as you resolve. So sometimes what I'll do is, you can start a half step down from the tonic. Like that little thing I was just doing is in A Dorian pretty much, So if it's going, I can start a half step down. Or a half step above. That's half step, whole steps. Or you can do any number of different things. C minor pentatonic over C or A minor. That works. Some stuff. Whole tone. Diminished. Someone asked the new records with the Koch Marshall Trio, who I'll be live streaming with on Saturday night, as a matter of fact, at 5 p.m. Central Time. Robin Ford is a killer guitar player. And we've done some, he's been on one of my records. He played on 4 tunes. I've done a few gigs with Robin. We were threatening to do more, but we'll see what happens. That's a nice sound. Yes. Just out of the box, and I gotta tell you, it's behaving actually pretty well considering the hurt I'm putting on it. Am I liking this Vela? I like it quite a bit, as a matter of fact. As far as all the Paul Reeds, there's some great guitars. David Grissom's signature model is fantastic. Actually, the Silver Sky is fantastic. They make great stuff. I will say that the simple execution of this rascal is very conducive to my own personal lifestyle. Have I ever played a Gene Baker guitar? Absolutely. He makes great stuff. Can I play any Bryan Adams? I'm afraid I don't know any. It is a good sounding guitar, isn't it? I see comments from both from my Greg Koch music page. I see them from Wildwood. I see them from YouTube, both on my YouTube page and Wildwood's YouTube page. So during the live stream, I see those come. They come in front of me here, but they come by kind of fast, so it's hard to latch onto something. Yeah, the pickups on this thing are delicious, and the coil tap works great. Right now I got a full humbucker in the middle position, but here's the split. Someone says it looks tiny. It's because I am a huge individual. I am 6'7". And yeah, this shirt is not flattering either, but it makes me look big. It's a delicious morsel, isn't it? Take a look here at the beautiful specimen. A beautiful specimen. Right? Sounds good. Again, the can I dunk? I used to. On a good day. Let's see. We got this particular guitar is the S2 Vela semi-hollow from Paul Reed Smith Guitars. This one's 6.35 pounds. That's very light. It's very well balanced. It's a mahogany body and neck, rosewood fingerboard, 25-inch scale length. Starlet treble pickup that you can coil tap on a D-type single coil, so it's like a D-Armond in the neck. Single coily, but it's got sparkle, but it's still got meat. It's got meat, but I like to say it's got sparkle, but it has sinew. What? Nickel hardware, PRS plate style bridge. The tuners are the PRS low mass locking tuners. It comes with a gig bag. And these go for, they're listed for $15 on here, $15.49. I think that's map price, $15.49. Made in Maryland. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Will you dig it? Can you pick it, lick it, roll it, flick it? It is Zappa. Someone asked for a Zappa, so I was Sleep Dirt. That's good. Good jam. Sleep Dirt. Is it just me, or does gig bag equal cheap guitar? Well, no. Not cheap, but less expensive. But $15.99 is not exactly. There's plenty of $15.99 guitars that come with the case. I don't know. I can't answer that. It's in the eye of the bongo fury. Yes. Oh. A little bit of the Rex Charmer. I don't remember seeing around. Yeah, Zoot Lures is another good Frank tune. Right? There it is. There we go. Jason says, hello, Greg. Hope you make it back to Tennessee soon. Me too. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's about that time, folks. Any questions out there in Movie Land? Or any questions about this guitar, things in general? Again, this is my Thursday edition of the Wildwood Live. And on Tuesday, I do Tuesdays and Thursdays, 3 p.m. Central Time, and they send me guitars, and I play them. Do a live stream with them, and then I do some extra videos that we've been doing called Wildwood 30s. And they appear every now and again. I do have a little slapback echo on his mic. How does it sound unplugged? It's quite resonant. And of course, it's got a little bit more life to it because it's a semi-hollow, so it's got a little... Can a guitar be too light? Certainly not in my opinion. I like light guitars. That's not to say that some heavy guitars don't sound good. That they do, but given my druthers, I'd like a light guitar. I love Jerry Reed. I played some Jerry Reed before. Yes, I'm playing my signature amp. Yes. Someone asked my favorite Paul Reed Smith guitar. I sure like that David Grissom guitar. They make some great stuff, though. Did I ever jam with Tommy Emmanuel? I did once, actually. I'd love to do it again. He's a great dude. We talked through Facebook this past summer, I believe. But this is probably 15 years ago in Germany at Musikmesse. We played a couple tunes together. It was a lot of fun. David Grissom. No, it's David Grissom. Right? Does have some twang, doesn't it? I like it. I like it. When is the new Tweed amp going to be available? I think in like April. All things being equal. Yes, Skype lessons are still available through my website. Absolutely. Can you spank on that PRS? I think I just did, right? Do I like P90s? Yes, I do. I have a new signature P90 coming out through Fishman, the Fluence Gristletone P90s, and they will also be featured on this new version of my signature guitar with Reverend with P90s on it, with my signature P90s from Fishman, and those will be in stores. We should have them in March. Can you dig it? Mm-hmm. How much are Skype lessons, and what do you think about Guthrie Govan? I love Guthrie Govan. He's a great dude. We've spent some time together hanging out. We played in, we did a thing together in Sicily years ago. Him and I and Robin Ford. It was a blast. That was a glorious memory, folks. I got to tell you that. We were in Sicily doing a guitar camp together. We had to do a concert at the end of the week. We ate unbelievable food. Middle of summer in Sicily, in Setacusa. We were staying at this old hotel in the old part of town. Glorious, just an absolute great time. And since then, we've, every time I see him, we hang out and as much as we can, usually at trade shows or whatever. But when we played in London, him and his girlfriend came out and saw us and hung out until the end. And afterwards, we were hanging out, which was great. Can you dig it? How hot or not are your P90 pickups? You know what? They sound like they're underwound, but there's a degree of output to them. I haven't compared it next to. Well, actually, that's not true. I compared them to when we were at the time. They have a little bit more oomph than regular P90s, but not like in a too boxy or hot kind of mid-rangey type of way. They sound underwound, but they actually have some output to them, if that makes sense. Have I jammed with Albert Lee? I have, as a matter of fact. He jammed with the Tone Controls back in the day at a Thoroughbred guitar show. Played a few tunes together. It was glorious. Steve Morse. I love Steve Morse. I love Steve Morse. Steve Morse, of course, of course, of course, of course. Questions. Love the Aristocrats. Yeah, they're fantastic. Anything on string gauges? I use 10 through 36, and because that's what all these guitars come that I play for Wildwood, and I'm playing so many different guitars. I did switch to on my personal guitars. I switched to 11s for a while, which I really liked. But But it was just so weird every time I would have to go to Wildwood, especially at that time I was still doing a bunch of Fender stuff. And I would fly overseas and I wouldn't bring guitars and I would just play guitars over there. And they all had 10s on them. So I thought, I'll just switch to 10s back. And there we go. Do the new P90s have 2 voices? They do indeed. And there's also, is it 10 through 46? I always screw that up. Whatever the standard 10 set is. There are 2 voices. Actually, there's 3 voices on what will be the standalone set from Fishman. The P90s that'll come on the Gristle Master will have 2 voices and an out-of-phase switch built in. Can you dig it? Killer and Savage are the voices. They are correct. That is correct. Wattage on the little Gristle. Okay, so the little Gristle, this little amp back here, which should be around an April-ish, we're hoping. Single 12-inch speaker. It has a single tube, an EL34, and it's either 12 or you can put it down to 4 watts. And it's just one channel. It has a volume, a gain, a tone, and a reverb, but there's also like a little boost. So it sounds fantastic. And it is a noiseless P90. That is correct. Will you come to Europe and do workshops again? Yeah, the band's going to come over and do stuff. We were supposed to come in fall, this last fall. We were supposed to come. That didn't happen. And now we have a tour that's being put together for November in the UK and in mainland Europe. But I got to be honest with you, I find it hard to believe that that's going to happen due to the present situation. But we'll see. I'm certainly amenable once people can travel and it's all safe and yada yada yada. Opinion on the orange rocket verb? I love the orange amps. They sound great. I had one for a while. I had a Tiny Terror for a while. That thing sounded magnificent. I used it on some recordings. I don't know why the hell I got rid of it. Then I was in Europe. I was in Italy playing with the band, and we had to go to the south. We took a train to Naples, and the promoter picked us up. We were using all backline, and I had my backline was a half stack, an old orange half stack, and I used that. Sounded good. Do I cover any hybrid picking in any of my books? I do. I cover it in. I discuss it a bit in the Hal Leonard Country Guitar Method, but that's for like advanced beginner type of stuff. But in my book, Guitar Clues, Operation Pentatonic, there's some stuff in there. Certainly on my Guitar Gristle DVD, I do a bunch of stuff. And a bit of it in the Guitar Gumbo. There's some more advanced stuff in there. And I certainly get into it and the licks stuff, depending on whose licks I'm covering. I'll do hybrid picking stuff. So yes, all of those things. I bought a Marshall DSI, and it sounds. I'm surprised how good it sounds. You know what? It's sometimes you can find good sounding. It was an interesting thing. my buddy Josh Smith, who's a magnificent guitar player and a hell of a cool dude, I might add. He does these interviews for his YouTube channel. They did one with me, and he's kind of got a set list of questions that everyone answers. And one of the questions was, would you rather have, if you had a situation where you had to go with either a lousy guitar or a lousy amp, what would you rather do in order to get through the gig? And I said a lousy amp, only because if I got a guitar and it won't stay in tune, that's hell on earth. But usually any amp I can get to sound good. Just because you just work with it as long as it's on. But if a guitar won't stay in tune, the intonation's messed up, it's kind of a non-starter to me. So you can make any amp work. I tell the story. Of course, they were good amps. My high school amp that I used for actually pretty much through most of my college years as well was a Yamaha G100 solid state amp. It sounded great. Clean sound was great, and the lead sound sounded good. I used that thing for all kinds of stuff. So there you have it. Jeff Bowen, what's going on there, Daddy-O? Can you dig it? Oh, can you dig it? Let's see. Jimmy Herring, fantastic. Jimmy Herring's an old pal of mine, as a matter of fact. I met Jimmy through T. Lavitz, my buddy T. Lavitz from the Dixie Dregs. And I think the first time I met Jimmy was probably late 90s. And I ended up sitting in with him with Jazz is Dead probably 2-3 times, which was awesome. And we've kept in touch every time he's in town with Widespread Panic. I pick him up after the show and we go to our favorite old late night Greek diner and we feast. And it is glorious. Can you dig it? Oh, will you dig it? Oh, will you dig it? Who's my guitar hero? Well, I have, Hendrix was my all-time favorite. And Cream Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck. And then B.B. King and Albert King. Bloomfield, Dwayne Allman, Dickie Betts, Larry Carlton, Mike Stern, Scott Henderson. I forgot how much I liked Scott. Richard Thompson is another one. I just realized how much stuff, songwriting and playing-wise, I took from that was embedded in my brain from Richard Thompson. It's been years, and all of a sudden I started listening. I was like, oh my God, fantastic. Steve Morris was another one. Can you tell us the story about Absinthe? Well, I had this tune. I actually recorded. This guitar is good for that one. Charlie Starr is great as well. Oh, I love Charlie Starr. He plays fantastic. And he seems like a very, very nice guy. So that song, Absinthe, was recorded in 1998 on a record called Defenestrator. And there was a live version that came out in the reissue of Strat's Got Your Tongue. I just had this kind of haunting little jam, and Absinthe seemed like a good name for it. But when I recorded it, we recorded it in this old church, and I actually used a Clapton Strat. I had a Clapton Strat with lace sensors. I actually love the clean sound with those pickups without engaging the thing full up. Although the full up thing can sound cool, but on the bridge pickup, I use it for slide stuff. Killer. Anyway, I don't have that guitar anymore. But anyway, I used that through a Vibrolux, custom Vibrolux, just clean, and that's what I used on that rascal. Ever played with Vince Gill? I never have. Seems like a great dude. I've seen him live. He's fantastic. Sings great and, of course, plays great. You rarely do absinthe once unless you're yeah. Absinthe is supposed to be as an inebriant is something you have to be wary of. But as a song, bring it. All right, folks. Listen, I should probably hit the road. It is let's see. The Gristle Master doesn't seem that big to me. You know what, Jeff? It's not all that much bigger. Then it's like 2 or 3% larger. It just gives the appearance of being slightly more proportionate to the larger individual. But it's not so much that it's a deterrent for the smaller person to play one. So there's that. Can you ding it? Who did I ever see live that surprised me the most? I'm going to tell you right now. It was Ray Parker Jr. So I knew he was great. I knew he was a great guitar player. And I know he had other tunes other than Ghostbusters. But I was in Hawaii doing a Fender thing. But it was kind of a weird thing. I was there I did some clinics, but I was also part of, there's like a, whatever the Grammy Association type of music foundation that's in Hawaii, that's specific to Hawaii, has this event in Honolulu, and I was a part of that. And I did a workshop with 2 Hawaiian musicians who were magnificent. They were fantastic. And then there was an evening concert, and it was like Patrice Rushen and Ready Freddie on bass, and I forgot who the drummer was. Legendary, session R&B drummer, and Ray Parker Jr. And then David Pack from Ambrosia. So they were kind of doing a review, and Patrice Rushen would do a few tunes, and of course, you're sending me, forget me not. She did that tune, and then there was some old smooth jazz tune that you've heard 1,000 times, but it's Ray Parker Jr. and you forgot that it was Ray Parker Jr. And he played that, and you're like, damn, that's a cool tune. And then, and the whole time I'm joking with the people at my table, I'm going, where's the damn Ghostbusters? If I don't get some Ghostbusters, I'm going to be very disappointed. So it gets to be the end of the show, and there's no Ghostbusters. They're like, denied. And they go, all right, we're going to do one more song. And they bust into Ghostbusters. Folks, I got to tell you what. I got my mind blown by Ghostbusters. They started with that, and they break into the Ghostbusters, and it rocks with the intensity of 1,000 Suns. And then at the end of the tune, they keep that groove going. Ray Parker Jr. puts his guitar down. 3 people come out dressed as Ghostbusters with Ghostbuster guns spraying with that silly string all over the damn place. And they start a conga line going through the entire place. The place is up for grabs. I'm like, Ghostbusters and Ray Parker Jr. just blew my mind. So that is that is the answer to your question of what concert surprised me the most. I'll tell you what. I went online afterwards and tried to find delicious examples of Ghostbusters, and I wasn't satisfied with the live thing was unbelievable. Ever met or played with Carl Verheyen? Absolutely. Carl and I had the same agent in Europe for many, many years. It's booking agent. And then we finally met in Italy, of all places. And then we've done a couple things together over the years at various different places. Last time I saw him was at Sweetwater for the big Gear Fest. And we did a little jam on stage, kind of a wild story. So you never know at these things what's going to happen. And then, there's going to be a jam at the end. You're like, oh my God, is it going to be cool or what? But they do a very good job down there as far as making sure that the jams aren't just completely out of control, because they can. And for the last tune, we played Spanish Castle Magic. It was Eric Johnson, Andy Timmons, Dweezil Zappa, Carl Verheyen, and myself. And it was delicious. It was excellent. I ever jammed with Philip Sayce? No, I have not. I have met him, and he's magnificent. And now we talk a little bit on Instagram these days, but I've never jammed with him. Busting does make me feel good. Is there any vid anywhere? That's a good question. Dweezil is magnificent. Absolutely. I've jammed with Dweezil as well with his band. Zappa played Zappa. But ever play with Jeff Beck? No, but I've met Jeff Beck. He was at one of our gigs and said some very nice things, and we hung out with him quite a bit. It was excellent. I did meet Vernon Reid just once in passing. Eric Johnson's magnificent and a very nice fella. All right, folks, I should probably hit it. Nice talking with you as usual. Take it easy. I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. It's snowing like a demon out there. Did it kind of let up there a little bit, Dylan, or is it? No, it's still raging. Yeah. So tomorrow we have another live stream, this time for Fishman at 5 p.m. Central. 4 p.m. Central, excuse me. 5 p.m. Central on Saturday evening with Toby, if the weather allows it, but I think it shall. There you have it. Good night, y'all. Have a good one. We'll see you later.